Welcome to M Squared TechCast.
Hey, it's Mike Brennan.
And Matt Roush.
And we're back on the second segment of, now MITech TV. And we have with us Tamara Shoemaker. And she's over at Detroit-Mercy. And so one of the things that you guys are involved is a Cyber Patriot program, which I'm actually, as a disclaimer, I'm on her board, so I'm pretty familiar with the Cyber Patriot program. But let's talk a little bit about what that is. Now, this be the first time that anyone's heard about that, although we did.
Yes, it's the first time I've heard of it, so
Yes.
Tell me all about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Very interesting.
So Cyber Patriot program is a K through 12 solution for cybersecurity awareness and competitions. So from K through 5, the kids get free. You can download, anyone could. You could download them for grandchildren. Anyone can download this, and teachers can download 3 games that they play, and they just learn cybersecurity awareness.
All right.
There's the talking notes that are included, so it's great for the teachers. From when you hit middle school and high school, it gets a little bit more intense. We start doing competitions, and it's a national competition. It's virtual, so it's very inexpensive to run and very easy to implement. And so for the last 5 years, I've been trying to grow this program in Michigan and in the Midwest. I'm helping some other folks in other states try to get their numbers up. I know we feel that we are ruling the world here in the Midwest, but that's one of those places where we're a tiny bit behind. The coasts have us, the East Coast, the West Coast have us on that. So when I started 5 years ago, we had 4 teams in the entire state, which meant there were 20 kids playing this game nationally, while there were thousands across the nation playing. So we got sort of my coalition of community colleges and universities that are all centers of excellence with the DHS and NSA said we got to do something about this, and we started growing this program. And to this year, we have now 182 teams playing. So
Wow.
we have over 900 kids playing this year.
That's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about that. Why is it important to get kids plugged into cybersecurity?
They're connected and they're innovative, right? So they are going to be our next generation. And we have a huge hole in our employment. So there's projected right now we have 350,000 a year shortages, no unfilled positions in cybersecurity.
Nationwide.
That cannot be filled in the United States.
Right.
Globally, it's 3 million.
Wow, it's amazing.
So we can't get them up to speed quick enough, right? And we and also make sure that we get a diverse population up to speed too. We don't want the same. The folks that are doing the crimes have all different kind of makeup, so there's a diversity in that, and we need that same kind of thing in what who's fighting them, and it takes a long time to get them up to speed. If I get them as a freshman in college, and that's the first time that they've started to work on this kind of
They're
thing,
way
they've
behind.
kind of liked
Yeah.
IT, and that's what they decided to pick, then they're way behind, right? I have to quick get them up to speed, and it's still going to take me 6 years at least. Then we hope and pray that they get involved in competitions or they get internships so they can get hands-on, because no one wants an unknown quantity without any experience either. That's why the Cyber Patriot thing was just beauty to me. 5 years ago, when I sort of slowed down long enough to listen to my California friends that have been doing this for years and said, this is easy to implement, Tamara. You need to get it over there in Michigan. I finally listened, and it is. And I'm just so excited to be able to, take this message across Michigan and grow the program.
Huh.
Okay. What are schools doing in terms of helping our kids with cybersecurity?
So the state, it's kind of hit or miss, right? So just like I got an eye-opener when I started to try to get this program across the state, finding out how much the schools can actually implement this and what the skill set looks like in the teacher base. And I realized right away after the first year of trying to work this that the teachers are our weakest link. Not that they're not trying their hardest. Their days are packed. There's a ton that they're doing. But IT has changed since when they became teachers. The high school and middle school that has an actual IT teacher that has background in that is blessed. The rest of the state and the rest of those teachers are falling behind. So they're doing the best they can to run and get caught up, but they don't have the continuing ed, that kind of thing. So the beautiful thing about a couple years ago, we got involved with the Michigan Department of Education, and they helped fund some things that we could do to get the teachers up to speed and be able to implement this much easier. So now we have a portal called the EduPath Portal, and that's free for all Michigan teachers. In fact, we were in California talking about it nationally. Even nationally, they can plug into this. And we put together some continuing ed type classes, modules for teachers to get them up to speed for what cyber is. Because When I go across the state, I talk to these IT teachers. They might be the social studies teacher who got tapped to do IT.
Right.
Right? So and you tell them cybersecurity, and they go into lockdown, right? And so we really need to help them and get them up to speed. So those modules are up there, and they can get continuing ed credits for them, and they get up to speed and not be quite so scared. We have some computers. We just now got.
It helps them in their career, too, if you look at it that way. Yeah. And if they're viewed as an expert at this thing, that makes them more marketable. Not that we're encouraging them to leave whatever teaching position they're in.
That's our
but
fear, because then we also want to show them that, hey, this cybersecurity is not so scary, and there are other things, and then there are loads of community colleges and training and things that you can do to kind of help that thing. But the beauty of this program is that it's not on all the it's not on just the teacher. The mentors are really, really important. So those mentors are from industry, and those folks are truly cybersecurity people.
Right.
And those guys and women have been amazing in the state. I have twice as many mentors and volunteers that I need for the amount of teams that I have across the state right now. I talk to all of the associations and everywhere that I can, and things like this, to try to talk to IT professionals and cybersecurity professionals and say, hey, give back a little bit. You know we have this shortage. You know you can't hire anybody. Help put some skin in the game. Get involved with these kids, and you'd be amazed how much of a difference you can make in these kids' lives. And to watch these young minds, I'm normally used to working with graduate students. And while it's great to retool graduate students and some of those traditional students and get them where they are, when you're down in middle school and high school and you see what some of these kids are thinking and what they're doing, and then you show them a pathway, it's just amazing.
Well, they're almost savants. I mean, they grew up in this world.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's always been digital for them versus guys like us.
Yep.
Right. For us, the internet,
Who remember dial-up?
1994 is when the internet really exploded, right?
And they're native, but that's also why it's so critical that we talk to them about security and this, and how to be safe, because they have grown up with it. I mean, my grandson learned to shoulder surf my husband at 2. Because he had an iPad, he was playing Angry Birds. He would watch when he wanted to buy some golden feathers or whatever you buy on that game. And he put his password in, and so the grandchild just picked up the iPad and knew Grandpa's password and used the password. He didn't know he was doing anything wrong, and that's most of the time what we do when we're doing this security awareness with these kids. They don't know that, hey, don't give out all your information.
People out there,
right, don't get out all your information. Don't tell people, I'm home gaming alone today and my parents are gone. Or this is where I live, or, all of the things that you don't want them to be sharing.
Right.
But without scaring them, have them doing it in a fun way, right? So that awareness piece is all fun. It's a game. They don't know that they're getting, awareness trained.
Right.
But we're helping to keep them safe. And then we teach them how to take it a little bit farther. And then actually defend all of us. And I know that these guys are going to be they're the ones making the next innovations, and they're the ones going to save our bacon. And so we can keep the power up.
Well, and as we know, the other team, they have the very best people in the world
definitely
working on that team, because there's so much money to
they
be
have
made.
Nation states. It's 1 in 4 people are victimized.
Right.
There's a lot of money in this. Right.
Tremendous. All the ransomware attacks that are being levied against all these various cities that haven't really kept their IT patches and things up, or do stupid things like click on phishing attempts and all those sorts of things. And I just saw another one that was getting hit with $1 million ransom. I remember, was it Austin, Texas? Where was it?
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay, I knew it was somebody down there in the south. So.
Well, they're also saying that when small businesses are hit, 50% of them go out of business the next year.
Wow.
So, that's huge for our economy and entrepreneurs and things like that. How are we going to do all that? We really need, we need an army. I call them our warriors, right? We're training these kids to think about this stuff now, not try to snap it on later, not try to think about it later, but as they're developing and as they're working way through their education and their career paths, that they have that knowledge. So even if they don't become a cyber warrior for me, I know that they're going to be a cyber employee, right? So they'll cybersecurity employee, which is like right now one of the 89% of our hacks and our problems are because there was an insider piece.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? That's usually how this works. If somebody does something dumb on the inside, or they're just
bad
did
it on
the
purpose.
inside.
But either way, if I have all these other people if everybody's trained and everybody knows how to be safe, then the likelihood of that is going to go way down.
Yeah.
And that's our hope. We also hope that we get a diverse population as well. And this game, because it's a game,
right?
And we get them where they love competitions, they love games. They're teenagers. This is where they live, and then they're getting to do this, and it's fun.
And lucrative too, because I just read a story that AI professionals are the #1 paying profession, but I got to believe cybersecurity's got to be real close number
Almost
2.
Definitely. They make 10 to 20% more than a normal IT person,
right.
for sure, out the gate. Without even any kind of experience. So,
kid
like
right
I said,
out of school could make $120,000 a year. That's
we're not talking
pretty good
about
money.
Absolutely. It's an amazing field, and that's the other thing that we do with the Cyber Patriot thing is because we have these volunteers that are mentors in our schools, they get to see all these different people and all the different jobs that they have.
Right.
And cybersecurity is very wide and very, very diverse. We don't just need engineers. We also need people who work in HR that understand this and can do backgrounding and all the other kinds of things. We need we need lawyers. We need people who can do policies and procedures. We need all kinds of people all working together.
I mean, every business function you can think of, from
Correct.
accounting to HR to PR, they all have to be aware of this and know
Correct.
about it.
But we've got to get the message out there, and that's what we're here for.
So we have a lot of listeners who are IT professionals, maybe own small companies. What can they do to help you in this effort?
They can help me get the word out. They can help support this program. They can go to our website, which is Michigan, so MICyberpatriot.com. If they want to become a volunteer, after they get hold of me, I'll sort of help get them and work your way through how you become a volunteer. The season goes from October until April. And then there's a national competition, and the national competition is the 28 top teams, and that happens in April. And in Baltimore, they get flown out for free. Everything is paid. The thing is beautiful about this is how nice and affordable it is, and it's why I need industry to come in and help me partner, because right now we don't fund it at all. So it's $205 for a team, a high school team, $185 for a middle school team for an entire year. And they can play all year round. We also do Cyber Patriot summer camps. There's a lot of things going on, and we need their help.
And, of course, their funding. We were talking before we went on air that funding is critical. I mean, you just you get dribs and drabs here and there, but, a lot more. What we should see is these big cybersecurity companies stepping up and providing this cash, right?
Absolutely. That they really need to help us with this. We're doing it with duct tape and shoe leather right now, but we could make such a much bigger impact, right, if we had some more support and across the whole state, not just in the Metro Detroit area, but all across the state. I've got some folks up in the Upper Peninsula now and up in Traverse City. I'm really, really happy about how we're getting around, but we need more help for these students and for these teachers are doing it for free, and it's an after-school program. That's an awful big lift for those guys. They've already got an awful lot going on. For 1 year, I was funded, and we were able to give them stipends, and that certainly helped them a lot. But, we'll get by with whatever we have, but we sure would love some help.
Okay, well, one more time, if folks want to reach out to you, give your email address, give your website address again.
So it's Tamara Shoe at Gmail. And our website is www.MICyberpatriot.com. Okay.
Tamara Shoemaker, I would encourage everybody out there, particularly in the IT industry, to help out, because you want to make sure that your business is secure, and this is the future of our business. Absolutely. Is keeping it secure and teaching these kids how to do that, right?
Right.
All right. Thank you very much, Tamara.
All right, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much.
Traditional four-year students love Lawrence Technological University's thriving campus life, but LTU has always met non-traditional students' needs too. Lawrence Tech offers over 100 degree and certificate programs that can get adult students started or back on track. And most of our classes are conveniently offered evenings at our beautiful Southfield campus or online, so you can balance your social, family, and work life even while you power up your career. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.